Hey YouTube, what's up? It's me, James Recendez, like always, and today I'm going to be doing something I normally don't do. I'm going to tell you about my racing journey, and what I mean is that I'm going to tell you from how I started racing, like back then, how I never even knew what racing was, and then I'm going to tell you how I got from there to today, to what I'm doing today. So, hope you enjoy, and by the way, I'm sorry if I sound a little bit weird because I'm a little congested with the allergies, but I hope you enjoy. My racing journey. It all began in 2012 when I was a big railroad fan. In 2012, I had no idea what NASCAR was, what a real race go-kart were, and what racing skills were. When I drove up and down the roads with my parents, I used to see a lot of cars I see a lot. I was heading down the road one day when I saw a Ford Mustang cruising down the road. I started to see more Ford Mustangs on the road and dreamed about having one someday. While this was going on, my train interest started slipping away. After following the Ford Mustang, I started to follow other cars such as the Chevy Camaro, the Dodge Challenger, the Toyota Camry, and other types of cars. In winter of 2012, I officially became a sports car fan from seeing several of different cars. So as you see, I used to be a train fan, but I got so used to seeing Mustangs, Camaros, and all those cars you see out there today. Got so used to seeing those that I said, you know what, I'm going to try to follow some sport car racing. And then once that happened, I started to lose a lot of interest in railroad. So this was the car I saw, the Ford Mustang, and I also saw the Chevy Camaro. Alrighty. In 2013, I started to find interest in the Camaro than the Ford Mustang. I collected Camaros and displayed them on my shelves. Now the big question was, how was I going to start racing? In March of 2013, my second dad signed me up for a race class at Chicago Indoor Racing. The class was for rookies who were trying to become a pro racer someday. Believe it or not, out of all the racers, I came last. Then I believed I would never become a real racer. In spring of 2013, Chicago Indoor Racing closed down, which left me with nowhere to race. However, I did still follow sport cars over the summer. Moving on, a couple days after my 12th birthday, I went to Walmart to shop for a couple of diecast cars. That's when I came across a mini black Lowe's Chevrolet 48 car. I looked at it and decided to have it for my first ever NASCAR 164 diecast. I then noticed the driver's name as Jimmy Johnson. And you all know Jimmy Johnson, so that's pretty neat. Even though I didn't know who Jimmy Johnson was, I decided to follow him a little bit. After getting the diecast, I started to watch NASCAR race the following weekend, which was the 2013 Brickyard 400. I didn't know the track from sports car racing on my Xbox, but I never knew NASCAR raced there. I watched my first NASCAR race on TV and saw Jimmy Johnson drive his car home to a second place finish to Ryan Newman. That made me follow NASCAR more after watching this race. As I followed NASCAR, I learned more about the drivers and the tracks. Going back to my karting topic, I did race at a family go-karting place a couple blocks from my house. In fall of 2013, I went to K1 Speed for my first ever time. I liked it, but didn't plan to race for a while. But when I came back during the winter, I made my choice to race there a lot in 2014. So in 2014, I went to K1 for practice and to gather more experience. Soon enough, I joined their monthly racing league. I basically ran last in each race, but finished 4th in the standings out of 12 drivers, with only 4 drivers running the full season. I also met a new friend named Zachary Tinkle, and he is a mini cup driver. I don't know if you guys heard of him, but this is him right here. I would love to do mini cup racing, but that's a long way away. In summer of 2014, I did not race that often because I did a lot of stop motion NASCAR races for YouTube. I don't know if you guys remember, but when I used to do the Buffalo Wild Wing Cup Series, those were my stop motion races. But unfortunately, I lost a lot of interest in it and just decided to keep focusing on my racing. I loved doing it, but I felt like going back to racing sometime soon. I came back to visit K1 in November to see if I was still interested in racing. After having fun and running fair, I decided I for sure wanted to race in 2015. For 2015, I got a lot of practice and rejoined their monthly league. In the first race, believe it or not, I was impressed and proud that I won. While racing at K1, me and my second dad met this guy named Stan. Stan's son raced outdoors every year. That's when he told us about this racetrack called Concept Polish Motor Speedway, and that's where I race today. In March, me and my second dad drove out to Concept Polish for our first ever outdoor experience. After that, I loved it but didn't plan to come back for a while because I wanted to focus on K1. After scoring 1 win and 2 runner-up finishes, I came home second in points after being 4 points close of the title. And that was a great season, but I wanted to get first, but I wound up with second. Although, I planned to run the summer and fall season. With that, sorry I lost where I was. I had tons of practice at K1 and Concept Polish over the summer. While focusing on the championship, I raced in my first ever outdoor racing league race at Concept Polish. I was put in the B feature, which had a mix of veterans and rookies. Out of 12 cars, I finished 5th and was the highest rookie in the field. That kept me focused on my racing. After a lot of practice over the year, I won the K1 title by, I believe, 12 points. With all that completed, I decided to take the step out to outdoor racing like the Friday Night League they have at Concept Polish in 2016. I was very proud and knew that outdoor racing would be more competitive and with more veteran drivers. Now, in 2016, I started my first ever outdoor racing league at Concept Polish Motor Speedways. On the way, I met new people such as my new friend Jared and one of the track workers named Bill, who gives me a lot of good advice. Today, I haven't been running near the front because I am a rookie and I have a lot to learn from these drivers. But I did win my first ever B feature race a week ago and I currently sit 5th in points. I have a long way to go in order to finish ahead with the veterans, but I know I'll be up there sometime in the future. Just always remember that your interests can change any day at any time. Like back in the beginning, I had an interest in trains, but I started to follow racing. And also remember to never give up in what you believe. For example, back in 2013, I raced at Chicago Indoor Racing, but I never knew I was going to be running up front. But look at me today, realizing what I got underneath my belt, such as winning my K1 Speed Championship, running up front at K1, winning my B feature event, and learning from these guys today at Concept Polish. And always keep trying in what you believe in, and I promise you, you're gonna be up there someday. Like I know I will be racing someday. I don't know if I'll make it to NASCAR, but I do know I'm gonna be racing in the future, and I always believe that. And I want you guys to believe in what you guys believe in too, because if you keep doing what you're doing, I know you're gonna be up there someday. I thank you all for watching this, and please like and subscribe, and you guys, I'll see you later.